Superman screams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear all the negativity about that clip?
I haven't heard the negativity because I'm trying to go in it with a fresh set of eyes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The whole him being battered and in pain and all that stuff, the robots and all that. Here's the thing: you have somebody trying to bring back the fun of Superman, and I think Steve in the past has talked about how dark and down and dreary the Henry Cavill version was.
Yeah.
And that's not Henry Cavill's fault. I think the tonality is just different. I think that James Gunn understands that this comic was supposed to mean hope in so many ways that the old version didn't have. And I think I'm excited about it.
I am too.
Really am.
I dug the clip. It was like from CinemaCon.
Yeah.
It was like 5 minutes almost.
It was a lot more than I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, most of it was kind of like the trailer again towards the end there, but the whole beginning scene, I dug it. And then afterwards, of course, you get, we have like many factions of nerds now. Some are just total haters. Others are like, great, love it, and there's more too, but it seemed like the negative ones were really on it, and they just couldn't get over him screaming as he's healing. And I figured, well, whoever did this to him was the same, had the same amount of power.
Well, now I granted he's an alien, right?
Yeah,
but I think anybody who is getting fixed, because he's got superpowers. We know that the sun heals him.
Yeah.
If you've got broken, when they go off the list of all the things that are broken, punctured lung,
right,
broken bones, even Logan, when he gets hurt or something like that, he winces, he screams, right? Why can't you have him be in pain while he's healing?
Exactly. Yeah.
There's no Novocaine. He's not knocked out. He's not given any painkillers. It's just pure sunlight.
It makes it more real about the sun rays and how they had to amplify them to get to him. Like, I loved all of that, and I loved Crypto. That was like jarring when he was just pouncing on him. But if you're a dog owner, they do that. Yeah. and they don't always know you're in pain.
And I like the one thing. Now I'm not well versed in that comic, and so what I normally do is, if there's any discrepancies where somebody's upset about something or they don't understand it, or this should be a man, not a woman, I go to those who are well versed in the comics to see what they say.
Sure. Yeah.
And if they're like, this actually happens in the comics, then those who are complaining are people who haven't read the source material enough or understand it, or are just feeding off of what the current vibe is.
Yeah.
And that's not the correct way to do it.
I dug the tech in Superman. It was something new. And to go back to what you were saying about the Snyder Superman, I think all of us still starve for that Christopher Reeve-esque Superman world. Yeah. And we never fully got more of that because it went downhill so quickly. And of course, his injury in real life, hurt him from doing other ones. Not to say he was going to, but Returns tried to do that. It failed. And then, of course, Dark Knight came out and the studio was like, let's go dark with Superman. So, I think now we're finally getting back to what we want still, and once that's fulfilled, maybe we would entertain a darker version of Superman.
I don't even need necessarily. We don't need a dark version, but I think the interesting thing,
like Snyder, right. And I was fine with Snyder's Superman. I think there's a lot of things Snyder does in those movies I don't get.
Yeah.
His whole storytelling, and I don't feel like it has the outcome I would like.
We didn't get his full vision though either.
That's true.
So we didn't know, where it was going to go. We have an idea. There was talk that HBO was going to do like his whole version in a miniseries. That would have been interesting.
But I loved his version of Justice League. That should have been what we got in the theaters.
Right.
That would have had
the interesting thing though to me, like if you watch the cartoon version of the Justice League, Kevin Conroy voicing.
Yeah.
I can't remember who voiced Superman.
Very chippy.
Yeah.
It's not.
But the interesting thing is that when you see Superman in the Justice League, it's almost like it's jarring because he's so upbringing, so positive, so full of hope that when he goes into the Justice League with Batman, it's like the yin and the yang. You got the dark side of Batman, thinking thinking the worst of things, and then then you have Superman come in, and there's always this fight for, hey, hold on now, not everything in the world's bad. And that's where the fun was.
Yeah.
But if you bring a more dark Superman into that, then you don't have that dichotomy.
Yeah. I think Gunn is going to deliver that. I
hope so.
So much hope for this film. And I think they have to get it right for that 10-year plan to work, because we know Warner Brothers will jump ship in a heartbeat if it's not successful, even though BVS made like almost $900 million, but of course they put
what was it? The $900 million failure. Yeah,
but they put so much into it, expecting, ever since it's the Avenger effect, ever since that gained or grossed $1 billion, these stupid studios think, rest guaranteed almost. Let's just put money into it and we'll get our money back. But I dug the clip. I'm shocked. People don't seem to. I get the suit's kind of baggy and it's not exactly what I wanted, but I think once we see it more in action, I think we'll be happy with. But
we're not. I mean, let's thank God that Gunn didn't go for more of a true like teen, like the current teen trend where they're all kind of down and out. I mean, this looks like, to me, it looks like he modeled his Super Clark Kent more after the original that we grew and loved. Kind of this guy that doesn't know how to fit in with the real world, kind of dopey. And not to say that he didn't have
depending on who plays him or what version. I think you get
a Christopher Reeves feel with this.
I get where his Clark Kent was going and stuff, but at times I felt like it was too bumbling, but I think you can definitely have some of that element into a modern Clark Kent, because Clark Kent has been played super cool as well. Yeah. So it's kind of gone over the place. I think it's just kind of like traits you can use for all of them and put it into one Clark Kent. Hopefully that's what we'll get. I think we will. And
the thing I like about James Gunn is that he doesn't just bring characters in because they were in the comics. He fully understands them.
I feel like he does.
I feel like, at least, and that's what I'm hoping for, and optimistically thinking, because when you look at like Guardians of the Galaxy, he took characters that we had no clue. I mean, would you consider that a B comic book? I mean,
right, and
at that period of time,
well, and
an unknown comic that really just didn't have any.
To plug Number One Comics podcast, check it out. They went over the Guardians of the Galaxy first issue. Now, it might have just been a first issue of a certain run, but totally different team.
Yeah.
And Yondu was totally different.
Sure.
So Gunn kind of redid it, and he puts heart into every movie he's done.
Yeah.
And I definitely see that in Superman.
Well, he fully understands the characters before he puts them on screen.
Yeah,
and I think that helps.
Like, I don't know if pop music into Superman, I don't know if that's really going to be an element, because I think Superman's more of like an orchestra type of theme and vibe. I think, if you put pop in it, I think it takes you out of that world, perhaps, because they're going for this. He's trying to make a whole universe happen, and I think he'll pull it off just nicely. I think it's refreshing that Superman has kind of a family in the fortress, the robots. It does, kind of take that lonely element out of it, but still.
But he adds humor where humor needs to be.
Yeah, and I've heard additional footage. They despise Crypto. Like they're not. The robots aren't fans of Crypto because he's.
Really?
I guess he trashed the fortress or something fun like that. But the fortress. Let's talk about that. That coming out of the ground and rotating. That was badass. Like,
I don't think I've ever seen
itself. That's never really been done before.
No,
it's always just kind of stood there.
Well, and I've never seen a light, like a light beam regenerating.
Right, and it does explain, like, well, because in the Reeves version, like, it's always there, and anyone could probably get to it. I mean, Lex Luthor got to it, but this one hides itself in the ground, comes out.
Which, why shouldn't it be?
It's really, I dug it a lot, and I dug the banter between the robots.
Yeah.
And it's going to make you feel for at least one of them, I think, gets killed.
Yeah, we see
there's a
something.
still of him mourning
Yeah.
one. So I think
Hopefully it's not 12.
yeah, right. That was the new one, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, he talked to me.
He talked
Yeah.
to me.
I love the design. I love
Yeah.
the capes. I mean, I dig all of it. Like, I think we need to just get back to still have realism, but not be so worried about, like, if things look a little goofy, I'm saying, I mean, it's like, just embrace this world. As long as the writing's good, who gives a shit? Like, Guy Gardner's hair is ridiculous, but
Yeah, Guy Gardner.
yeah. Like, that's kind of hard, but that's true to the character, I guess.
True
But
to the
I
character,
never expected
yeah.
that much hair. I expected like a smaller.
Like it's a bowl cut.
It is, but it's like
it's like
froey.
bad bowl.
It's huge. Yeah. It's ridiculous. But I don't know if.
But Nathan Fillion, to me, he seems like he could pull that off.
Yeah,
just because he's just.
Yeah,
he can do great voice work. He's a great actor, and James Gunn absolutely loves the guy. I mean,
he
he'll
works
stick
with
him
a lot
in,
of the same actors. Yeah, you got, well, I don't know if Michael Rooker's in this one or not. I in the beginning when they were casting, I thought he would have been a cool Perry White. Michael Rooker, but I dig Wendell Pierce. They got he's a great guy.
Is he the guy that plays the T, the one that has the T on his face or something like that? I can't remember that character's name.
No, you're talking about like it's like an H or something.
It looks like a T.
He's all in black.
He's the
right?
black guy, but he's got like a T that covers his like eyes and his mouth.
You're talking about Mr. Fantastic, I think.
Is that who that is?
Wait, no, it can't be Mr. Fantastic
No.
because we have a Mr. Fantastic. Who is that?
Yeah, and then is it Hawkman or Hawkgirl that they have in there?
They have Hawkgirl.
Okay.
And I can't remember the guy's name, but yeah, it all looks cool. There's like a team going on there in the background.
I hear that we're going to have a small cameo with Kara Zor-El, which is going to be great.
Yes. Supergirl.
Yeah.
Which they're filming that now. So
yeah,
we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, is it Mr. Terrific? I think it's Mr. Terrific.
I like the cast.
Yeah, because it's T. It's a T on his face. Mr. Terrific. I'm pretty sure that's what his name is.
Yes, you are absolutely right. Mr. Terrific.
Yep.
And he's got some sort of force shield or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. And I love that actor. He was in X-Men First Class. He played the mutant that adapted to everything.
Oh, really?
What was his name called?
At least we have Sean Gunn in there. So we're going to get a little carryover from Guardians, but that's okay.
Yes, Sean Gunn is... Who is he playing again?
Max Lordwell.
Okay.
I don't know who that is in the comics.
Well, Pedro Pascal played Maxwell Lord in Wonder Woman 84. I think that's the same character.
Oh, is it?
I think
it could be good, but it can be better.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's good callback.
Yeah.
I think that's the movie I'm going to get rid of.
84?
Yeah. Did you like it? I was let down, and as I looked at reviews...
Tonality change. There was too much change.
The trailer looked great, but yeah.
In the first Wonder Woman, it was great because it was a little darker, but it was the first time that we've ever seen comics talk about World War I.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
You always go to 2 because you have Captain America. Yeah.
It was really fun, and that was a cool scene.
84 could have been cool, but there's just so much dumb shit in it that doesn't make sense, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just weird. I was let down by that one.
Yeah, and it wasn't any of the actors' faults or the actress.
And I thought Kristen Wiig was fine. I didn't like the
Kristen Wiig can play
she's a
very
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they always
just
use
seemed-
that stupid nerd trope with these villains. You know, she's kind of a nerdy girl, and they did the same for Electro and Spider-Man, and they're just
It only worked in Batman 2 when Michelle Pfeiffer was Catwoman.
Oh,
that's the only time I've ever seen it work. Where
maybe they've used that trope ever since. Because almost every villain is a dork, and then they get powers and they become evil as fuck. And that's how they do all of them.
Can we at least say that Electro in No Way Home was badass?
Yeah, they fixed
they fixed his whole thing.
Yeah,
and and everybody was just like, okay,
yeah.
We were just like,
I accept it.
Yeah. I mean the yellow electric stuff
made it more like the comics. Yeah, that was far out for Amazing Spider-Man.
Dude, that was so cool.
Yeah,
so cool.
But yeah, Superman's coming out July 11th, so I'm still pumped. I think it's going to be something special. That whole month, you have 3 big movies coming out. You also have Fantastic Four, and you have Jurassic Park.